She wants some Marvin Gaye, some Luther Vandross, a little Anita, but definitely set this party alright. Oh.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Love, Marriage, and Everything in Between CounterTop Talk. I'm Chef Shane.
I'm DTP.
And we are on episode 14.
14, double digits, yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
So, how was your week?
It was great. We went back home to Baltimore to visit family and friends. It was good seeing my sister and my goddaughter. Our goddaughter had a sweet 16. That was pretty dope. Seeing our friends. Baltimore is now gentrified, so it's different.
Totally different than Baltimore we grew up in.
Yeah, but we had a good time.
Absolutely. So, this week's icebreaker. Is it considered cheating on your spouse if you are messing with other people prior to your marriage, your date, your wedding date?
Absolutely.
It is okay. I agree. I asked that because I have a show that I watch, and surprisingly enough, a lot of people were saying it's actually wise to do that prior to marriage, so that you will be faithful throughout your marriage.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah. So
Cringy.
I agree. It is. I mean,
you agree what?
That it's cheating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it ain't no coming back from that. I find out you with somebody before our wedding date. It's the wrap. Mm-hmm. It's over. Okay. So, all right. So what else we got?
Well, you're going to start us off with the topics today.
Okay. So this week we are working on what are 5 myths that you heard about marriage prior to being married.
Okay. So.
And this is throughout your life, not just when you were preparing to get married. This is throughout your life.
Okay. I would say for me, one thing that I heard was that whatever you won't do, someone else will do. Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically the sentiments behind that is, you got to give your man, fulfill his needs and wants, because if you don't do it, somebody else will. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree. Now, were you told that by like a grandmother, an aunt, a sibling, just to get the generational perspective? I would just say
an elder.
An elder.
Lots of elders, multiple elders.
Yeah.
Multiple elders, but I would say going into our marriage, since we did get married pretty young, I held on to that. Whatever all your needs and wants, I had to fulfill it. But getting older, if I want to do something, I can do it.
You think you got enough years earned, enough time put in?
I ain't doing that.
Nah, because we just had an episode about how you keep it spicy. But
yeah, I do keep it spicy, but certain things, why are you looking at me like
certain
that?
things what?
All right, so what have you heard? Let's.
So no, I want to touch on that. So I agree, and it goes two ways because just keeping it at a very very beginner's level. If you have a spouse that's saying, "Hey, I want more time," and you don't fulfill them with that time, it's only a matter of time before they get the attention they're seeking from somewhere else. And it's a lot of people willing to give everybody attention.
Yeah, so, for sure.
I do agree with that. I think it's old school, and some things have changed since our elders were giving us advice, but I think that's something that's standing the test of time.
Yeah, but I think now, the sentiments, in my opinion, women have more wiggle room, whereas the older women, why are you looking like that?
What do you mean, wiggle room?
Well, I feel like back in the day, a lot of women, older women, because this was older women that used to say this, they really didn't have, I don't know, a leg to stand on, or, they really didn't have a voice, so they had to basically,
stay-at-home moms, basically, the homemakers.
Yeah, they had to really do as they, was told, whereas though now I feel like, if you don't do it, somebody else will. If your man loves you and say you don't know how to cook. We'll use that for an example. You know, maybe your man may teach you how to cook. Maybe your man will do little fun things and y'all take cooking classes together to get you, squared away. Whereas though back in the day it was like, oh my God, if you don't do this for your man, if you're not able to cook, if you're not able to stay sexy, if you're not able to do this, your man is gonna cheat on you. Your man is gonna do. It was just like panic.
Right.
And I don't feel like it's like that now. I think a lot of times with marriages, people are figuring it out, working together. It's not like, oh, you're not doing this, so I'm cheating. Because also back in the day too, you would hear a lot about men having second families, having a family on the other side of town and stuff like that, and the woman know about it, and it is what it is. I don't think people are doing that like that these days. What's your thoughts?
I agree. I don't think you have a lot of. I mean, right now the cost of maintaining two families is crazy. So, yeah, I definitely don't think that's occurring. But yeah, women are more career oriented now as well. A lot of women are in leadership positions. So yeah, it's not really like that thing of like, if I don't do this, you're going to replace me. But women are bringing a lot more to the table. Not to say they weren't bringing more, because being a homemaker, maintaining kids, cooking, all that, that's a job too. For anybody that has children, you know that. But I agree. For me, what I would say is that after marriage, you don't have a sex life. And I don't know, that is something I don't agree with. I don't know what type of marriages they were, but it was more so, they're like, life after marriage is boring. It's boring. And I think that just depends on the person and the people that are together, because, we talked about this a few episodes ago as well. When you're friends with somebody, it's just another level of everything. Traveling, it's another level of enjoyment. Eating together, the conversation, it's another level of enjoyment. Being intimate with each other, it's another level of enjoyment. So that is something I would hear a lot of guys, older guys, and just to give you the general, I would say like uncles, and say like, after marriage, is get it all out your system. Kind of like we were just talking about, get it all out your system before you get married, because after that is downhill.
Okay, so when you received that type of advice, did it deter you from trying with getting married? Because you got married at a very young age.
I did. I would say honestly, no. But I think that's why I was selective in who I married. You understand what I'm saying? So I heard it. I didn't undermine it in any way, but to me, I've always been somebody that's more analytical. So I'm not saying I was looking at it the way I'm looking at it now, but to me, and it spoke to me in a way like that's more of a compatibility issue. Because if I like someone, us making it official through a piece of paper should not change that. If I love someone, that piece of paper shouldn't change that. So I heard it, but I always felt like a lot of things, that's not going to apply to me. That was my mindset.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. But yeah, I have heard that too. Guys say that, as well. So, okay. So, another one for me, I would say, and this would be 1, 2, 3. Okay. Don't buy, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? Okay.
Break that down for people that's not from the country.
Yeah.
Like
so,
your family.
Yeah. So basically, if you move in with a guy, he's not going to marry you. If you're having sex, he's not going to marry you because if you're cooking, he's not going to marry you. You're doing all the things that married women are doing prior to marriage. So why would that man marry you? And I don't think that, it's definitely not true because we moved in together. prior to being married. We had sex prior to being married.
Right.
I was cooking for you prior to being married.
Loved it.
You know, so
Right.
we were acting like we were married, but we weren't married. But you know how people say, oh, a man knows when he wants to marry someone. You know, a man is not going to be waiting 10 to 15 years to marry you. And I do agree with that because we got married pretty quickly.
Very quick.
Yeah, and I was doing those things, and it wasn't like, okay, I'm comfortable. You know, you still wanted to marry me.
Mm-hmm. Still had to apply that pressure. I'm joking with you.
Shoot.
No, you were cooking. I used to love coming home from the gym. You had food cooked. And yeah, I don't agree with that. I mean, I think a lot of people, I think that's one of those things that's outdated. I don't think that has really stood the test of time. Maybe that's how it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But now, you know, pretty much you have most couples having premarital sex. And, you know, I don't know the percentages of how many of those couples are married, but people are still getting married.
So why did you want to marry me so soon? You know, if I was doing all of those things, you know, you could have kind of just slipped back and been comfortable because when you did propose to me, I was very shocked. I did not.
For real? We never talked about that.
I was so shocked. I was so shocked that you proposed to me.
We did talk about it. You're right.
Because, you know, we were like actually beefing
before. We were beefing hard.
Beefing before you proposed to me. And then you got on one knee. I was like, what the
world? Yeah, we were beefing because we were in LA. And I remember we were beefing from after baggage claim because one of your siblings called you with some man drama.
Yeah, he was like, that's rude, you know, you're supposed to be here with me, yada yada. I'm like, yo, chill.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, I had a ring, so it's not like I can renege.
Yeah, but I was just so, I just wasn't expecting it. I was expecting us to go to LA. We were supposed to go to the Lakers game and hang out, and this was our first trip together. So this was like our first trip together. So I'm just looking at it, okay, we boyfriend and girlfriend. This is our first trip together. This is going to be so much fun. You know, yada, 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 young love.
So I was 20? We were 20, you were 23, I was 24, right? So.
No.
Yeah, because we had our son, I was 25. So to answer your question, why I married you is I started young, and my previous profession, you know, it's nothing like having somebody that you can come home to at night and talk to about your day. And for you, when I found you, I felt like you was a unicorn because back then we were heavy into video games. Like a lot of guys was playing NBA Live, 2K, and I found it very odd. I had a cousin that had a girlfriend that would, during our downtime, we're playing a game, and she would watch us. She would watch us play the game for like hours. Then she would cook for us while we playing the game. And I'm like, you don't find girls like this that look like this. So when me and you met, you were, I mean, of course you look good, right? But you were funny.
You think I'm funny?
You're very funny. And people would get to see that. You act like you're introverted, but you're very funny. You were funny. You had a lot of old school traditions, and you were fun. So, like, I remember one night you was playing a game with me. Like, all I played was, what was it, NBA Live. I was playing NBA Live. I played in Call of Duty. You would hop on the sticks with me. So when you hopped on the sticks, I'm like, she the one. She the one. And previously, I would have girls that were attractive, but they were just super high maintenance. And I'm not saying like you have low standards because you're not high. You're not high maintenance. You like nice things. You like to do nice things. You expect certain things. You expect you to be treated a certain way, etc. But you just wasn't a diva. You were fun. You know, you were fun.
Yeah, I'm fine.
So at that time when I met you, I felt like I had been through enough women to see.
Don't sound right.
I felt like I had dated and
You gonna die?
listen. I had felt like I had dated and engaged with enough women to realize what I had was special.
That's
And
good.
I rolled the dice, and
You roll the dice. You knew you had a winner.
So that's why. That's why for me. But let's go to number 4.
Okay.
So another myth was like, when you get married, you're not going to have any social life. And actually, now that I'm thinking this, it was the same uncle telling me these things. Like,
So was he married? The uncle that was telling you these things?
yes, he was married. And
The miserable bird.
Yeah, the more I think about it, it was the same uncle giving me all this advice. So he would always say, like, telling you when you get married, you're not going to be able to go out with your boys. You're not going to be able to go to games. And that too, I feel like is something that's outdated. I can go out when I pretty much want to. I don't abuse it. You're always encouraging me to go out. Most of the time we're together, but there are times when
most of the time you're together. But I do encourage you to have like some man time.
Yeah, it's important. And you've never been an issue with hanging out. And I guess because I don't hang out at crazy places, and I also don't, I pick and choose my battles when I want to hang out. But you're always the one.
You never take advantage of it. It's not like when you hang out, you coming in, odd hours of the night or anything like that. Or if you are hanging out and it's getting a little late, you'll be like, babe, you cool? Or babe, you'll check in. It's just not like you know how some men that just be outside like they lost or something.
Right. Not like they lost.
Yeah, you check in and everything like that. So yeah.
And I feel like in this day and time, that's accepted because you hear a lot about girls' trips, right?
Yeah.
You hear a lot about men's trips. And it's actually healthy, to have some time away from your spouse to give you time to miss them. I'm not saying now it's a difference if you were looking forward to being away more than you looking forward to being in the house. But as a man, you need your time to recalibrate with your guys. Seeing my guys in Baltimore this weekend was phenomenal. It always charges me up to see all my guys doing well, handling their business, handling their families. And just stand-up guys. I don't think I paid for one thing while I was in Baltimore. Not that that's why they're my guys, but just when you're with a mature group of men, the conversation, they pouring into you, you're pouring into them. All of us are experts in different things. All of us have come from similar but different backgrounds.
Right.
And it's energizing. It's energizing. And I'm sure it's the same for you when you're out with your girlfriends.
Yeah, absolutely. Just having mature conversations, talking about marriage, things like that.
What y'all really be talking about?
Yeah, we be talking about marriage, just, things that's happening, things that's going on. But when you're around people that do have successful marriages, they could pour into you, you can pour into them. And, you may get some good nuggets from them, which you can bring into your marriage. So it's always a good time, when you're around people that's compatible.
And all of you, when you're with like-minded people, all of you are going through this together, right?
Or they may have been through it before you.
They may have been through it before us. And it's empowering to have people, like you said, pouring into you, but just to hear, how are you navigating this problem? We just started running because we know issues come up out of nowhere. Issues you don't even think could be an issue, just out of nowhere. It could be a great day, and then beef is like the Bloods and the Crips in your household with your wife and your husband. So, to even talk about people, how they are navigating this, or we do this, or we do that, that's a great thing.
Yeah, and also something, when you have friends that are also, like-minded or have been through things prior to you, and you're just getting that sound advice. One time I called the friend, you and I was beefing and everything like that. She gave me good advice. She told me to pray over you, while you're sleeping and things like that. So it was just like, okay, and I do that. When you're acting up, I wait for you to go to sleep.
You ain't never put no oil over me.
Say a whole prayer for you.
I ain't never.
Father God, please
I ain't
allow
never woke
him
up
to
with you doing
calm
that.
down. This little firecracker. Yes.
Yeah, so that was good advice, unbiased advice, really wanting us to win. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
shout out to whoever that friend is.
Absolutely.
What's number 5?
Okay, so this one right here was like so cringy when I was hearing this, and a lot of people say this. They
Say
said,
it now or have said it.
I would say it now and say it back then. This is like major, okay? Y'all let me know in the comments. They say, when you are married, you should not have any single friends.
That's the most church pewish, knowing every verse word by word.
Yes.
Yeah, that's outdated.
You can't have any single friends. Now, sometimes your single friends will give you some good advice too, on how to look at things, because that single person may still be outside and you call them complaining about your married life, and they like, please, it's the trenches out here. Please, you got a great man, So that was something that I heard a lot. When you are married, do not have any single friends.
So again, elder, uncle, sibling, friends.
Everybody. This is to me, this is just like something everybody was saying.
Universal.
Yeah, like you can't have any single friends. So I don't know if was they saying it because your single friends may try to push up on your husband, or
I think when I've heard that too, I think when they're saying that, I think it's more so like they will distract you from your marriage.
Oh, have you outside, have you hanging out, things like that.
And if a person do that, is they want to do that. But like that's crazy because.
So you heard that a lot too.
Yeah, I think everybody has heard that.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like that was coming from like my mother or somebody.
So
right?
a myth, you would agree?
It's definitely a myth.
Okay.
Yeah. It's definitely a myth because that's like saying because I'm married, I'm better than this person. Like you don't identify with people just because they married. I mean, some people are different parts of life, but like you said, you could have a friend that's outside that telling you, look, you ain't got it as bad as you want. And I mean, one of my best friends and one of my best cousins are single. And they give me great advice when I need advice, right? But at the end of the day, we're not friends because we have spouses. We're friends because we have things in common. So I would never say, I mean, now I'm at the age where I don't need a lot of people to become friends. It's like, if you're in, you're in. Now, if something happens organically, that's one thing. But if I am befriending somebody, I like their character, right? I like their integrity, and the character is the main thing. Absolutely. So if your character is a character that I resonate with and that, mesh well with me, there's hope that we can be associates, graduate to friends, and furthermore. But like, if you're married or not has nothing to do with anything. I'm never looking at that. I don't think any guy is.
Yes, I remember when I was calling my sister. Me and you had an argument. It was such a petty argument, right?
They are. I mean, most of the time.
Yeah, they are. So my sister, I think she was going through a separation at this time with her husband. But I call her venting. This was way back in the day. We were eating meat and everything. And you went to Missions.
So that was a long time ago.
Yeah, you went to Missions Barbecue. And you got me the, what is it called? Not the moist meat, but I wanted moist, and you got, I don't know what they call it, lean. Okay, you got me lean and I wanted moist. I was so mad at you. I'm like, why would you do this? Like, I don't like the lean.
Right.
So I called my sister complaining, like, yo, I can't believe Dwight did this. He is so annoying. He know what I like, and he gonna get me something I don't like. He gonna get what he like. Yo, she holla, why are you calling me with this bullshit? She said, people are going through real shit.
I think I know what sister this is.
Yeah, she said, people are going through real shit in their relationship, and you calling me with this bullshit? I was like, oh my God. I'm like, oh my God.
It's usually the simplest things that lead to the biggest things. I'm glad she got you right though.
Yes, I was so blown. So I'm like, you know what I like? You know why you get me
Right.
something else? But she corrected me. She corrected me like, girl, you really wasted my time when real life is happening.
And it's a different perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't want to just be around people because, I mean, that's, like I said, that's definitely a myth. That's definitely a myth. You know, like, nah, I'm not, oh, you married, we can't be associates, we can't do business together because you're not married. Nah, I'm more so in tune with your character.
Yeah, for sure.
That's everything.
For sure. Okay.
So, yeah, that was some good things. I mean, there's some other myths out there. I know we said 5, but can you think of anything else off the top?
I would say those were the things. Because even what you mentioned is what I have heard a lot. But we can do a bonus one.
Okay.
I brought a bonus one. I don't know if I want to say this, but something that, you know, older women would say, you know, if you make a man spaghetti, you know, he'll never leave you, you know, add a little ingredients. I have another, what?
That must be something in itself because I never heard that until like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
and it was from a show that's out of the South, but I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Yeah.
I do have another one. So we said 5. So this
That'll
will be
a 7.
So this is going to be the last one. So
Okay.
we can wrap up. But never buy a man a pair of shoes because if you buy him a pair of shoes, he's going to use those same shoes and walk out your life.
Said the same thing about a car. Never buy a woman a car because she'll drive out your life.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, like the people that was making these things up, I feel like was definitely like our parents' generation, and they definitely out there. But you know, those folks kind of believe they said it and it was Bible. You know,
For sure.
So you know, this day and time, I think if you went by a lot of those old mythologies of what you can't do or what marriage is like, you just would never be married. So to each his own. You know,
Yeah, but drop something in the comment. What are some of the myths that you guys have heard? Do you believe it? Is it true? Do you abide by it? You know, let us know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good episode, babe.
Yeah. So, you don't have anything else you want to say? Normally, you give a little nugget. You don't have any. You don't have any nuggets to give before we close out?
Not really, man. I just want to tell people to stay encouraged right now. There's a lot going on in our world. And we talked about character this episode, right? So keep your character high, you know, stay on the lines of integrity and, you know, master every day. You know, we see a lot going on in the news. We see a lot going on in our families. We see a lot going on in our communities. But something I try to live by is I wake up every day and I've already planned how I'm going to master that day. I'm not looking at the week. I'm not looking at the month. I'm not looking at the year. How can I master this day, get the most out of it, be the best I can be, and be better today than I was yesterday? So that's my two cents. That's my official moment for you.
Awesome. Okay, until next time, be safe and be blessed.
She wants some Marvin Gaye, some Luther Vandross, a little Anita, but definitely set this party alright.